Hi. I was on live like a few minutes ago, but I don't know what happened. So I'm live again. Um, let's see if this works. I hope it's working. I guess I'll wait a minute and see if it's working or not. Put some music in the background while I patiently wait. I hope everyone is doing great. I hope we've all found new ways of keeping ourselves entertained. This makeup I just did, I thought it'd be fun to do something prideful and get creative with the colors, which I haven't done in a minute. Yeah, it's the real reason why I'm on. It's not because of makeup. It's not because of anything. It's about coronavirus, COVID-19. Like, how many times can we want to stop talking about it? But that's literally the only topic of conversation, amongst other things. But we're not going to get to that. I'm on because I just got over COVID. It was, I think, one of the scariest things I've ever experienced and one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. And I've had surgeries, elective, and not elective. I guess that's medical. I've had surgeries. And out of all the surgeries I've had, this has been the most painful thing I could ever have imagined. And I know there's a lot of people who are skeptical, and that's great. I mean, if you're skeptical that there is no virus, that's, you do you, and I'm not here to try to change anyone's mind. I'm just here to tell you about my experience, and how, in case you know of anyone who's going through it, or if you're yourself going through it, it's terrifying. And when I was in the middle of it, I jumped on Facebook, and one of my dear friends jumped on, and she's like, I just got over COVID. I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. I could laugh about it now, but let me tell you, it was not funny. When I first started feeling the symptoms, I had a low-grade fever for about 8-9 days. And when I say low grade, it was 99.1 to like 101.7. Didn't really pass that. So you tend to ignore these things. You're like, oh, it's a low fever. But the thing about that is that, plus you're sweating profusely while you're very cold. It's a whole mess. I promise you. So again, this video is not about makeup, even though I really am totally digging my cool pride. You got to make the eyes rock and roll because we're wearing masks, and I'm a big fan of masks, and some people don't believe in them, some people do believe them. I just think, what's the big deal? It's just a mask. Like, hi, make the eyes look awesome, and then I have different colors. I have a few to be washed, but yeah, gotta make it funny, gotta make things fun in a time where nothing is fun and nothing's normal anymore. So yes, this is my personal journey of COVID. I think I personally got it. I had been really good, and I wear my mask and I do all these things. But I think I got it when I went out. They had open restaurants. I was like, oh, it's been a while. And I wore a mask. I sat outside, but I'm a fidgeter with my face. I wear contacts, so I'm constantly doing this. It could have happened. The doctor. Okay. So that's where I think I got it. Not entirely for sure. So, COVID. COVID is, like I said, one of the most painful things ever. I started feeling symptoms late June. By July 2nd, I couldn't get out of bed. I had the worst body pain ever, and then it felt like the worst skin burn. So not only was the insides of my body hurting, also my skin was crawling, like that pain that all over. And I live in a studio apartment. It's super cute, so it's not like a lot I could walk around, but just walking to the restroom or walking to the kitchen hurt. And then I get back in bed and I was sweating, but I was cold. And I didn't want to believe that I had COVID. So I was just like, we're not going to say anything. I told my sister, don't say anything. Don't tell anyone because I need to get tested first because you just never know. On the flip side, you hear all these horror stories that like, oh, they faked a test or they, everything's COVID based because that's just what they're doing. So I actually took a test at CVS and I took a test when I went to the emergency room. I went to the emergency room twice. Because so besides the body aches and the skin pain and everything, you develop a new symptom almost every day. So Thursday, when I got out of bed, I was in pain. Friday, the same. Saturday comes along. I suddenly don't have any taste or smell. Not like, oh, I taste lead or like I don't taste that well. No, literally I had no taste buds whatsoever. And then I got, hot sauce or something to put like in my eggs because I need to eat because you need to eat. And the only reason I knew it was spicy is because my lips got really red. But taste wise, nothing. I have my dog. And every morning I wake up with her and I say, good morning, Stinkies, and I couldn't smell her. And that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, something's off. So I couldn't walk because everything hurt. And then I couldn't smell and I couldn't taste. And you're all alone, you have to be in quarantine. But I'm actually in quarantine because I live alone. So it's not like, oh, my mom's next door, it's freaky. And Sunday comes along and I start getting this headache. So rewind. So I go to the ER because I have this horrible headache. I went to this one ER, which I'm not going to like publicly say. Actually, no, I think I can say it. I went to Glendale on San Fernando Road and they were horrible. All they did was check my temperature and they checked my pressure and they said that they couldn't help me and they weren't going to give me a COVID test because I had to go to my primary care. So they just gave me a prescription to go to the pharmacy at 1 o'clock in the morning to get migraine pills, which I did. Thankfully, they gave me a 24-hour one. So I went, but keep in mind, I'm in pain. Keep in mind, I'm still like, not only my head's hurting me, my body's hurting me. My senses are all off. I have the headache Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I talked to my primary care and she's telling me that I can't be taking all the pills that I've been taking because it's not healthy. Which of course I knew that, but the pain was so bad that I had to do something about it. If you're just jumping on, hey, like it, this is really not about makeup, even though my makeup I think looks pretty cool. I'm talking my experience of dealing and having COVID it's past few weeks. So I've been in quarantine for almost a month. So then I go on Wednesday, which is Wednesday the 8th, I wake up and I can't breathe. Like I can't catch my breath, which is terrifying. I've never, just getting out of bed, I couldn't stand for more than probably like 2-3 minutes. So my sister's like, okay, we're going to go to the ER. So this is where I got the double test because I really wanted to know, because again, I'm seeing a lot of posts where they're doing fake testing, and I'm not saying fake like you're lying. I'm just saying like, I don't know how. So doing fake testing. So I go to CVS, get my test there, and then I go to the ER. So at this point, I have 2 tests from 2 completely different places. I want to see exactly what they see. And I go to the emergency room, and sure enough, my oxygen levels are at 89. It shouldn't be any lower than 95. So, my fear is getting put on the ventilator just because it just seems very dramatic. So they put me on oxygen, and I'm there for 7 hours or so. They do chest x-rays, they take my blood, they do the COVID test, which if you have not done, it is extremely painful. Like when you do it yourself, it's uncomfortable, but when someone does it for you, it's so painful. So, just FYI. They finally stabilized my breathing. My test results come back with COVID positive and bronchitis. So I'm glad I went because neither one of those is good. They were actually very impressed that my blood flow was good, saying that I was extremely hydrated, even though I was burning up with a fever. I still try to stay hydrated. So my pointers will come in just a few minutes in case you know of anyone who has COVID, or if you are going through COVID, or what can you do to help, because you can't be there with them like you would a normal cold. I did ask the doctor what the time frame was, and the doctor said every case is different because the virus keeps mutating. Which at that point, you're both sitting there like, so what do I do? What they're telling everyone, stay home and rest, and you can't see anyone because it's extremely contagious. So what I felt helped me and kept me alive was my sister would drop off Pedialyte Plus. I was going through 2 to 3 Pedialyte Pluses a day. And this is actually a generic brand, but it works just as good. So this one has zinc, and just chug these. If you are sick, if you know anyone who's sick, I don't think 3 would be much help, but if it's not COVID, because I guess what I'm getting at is like you have such a low grade fever, you're constantly burning, and you dehydrate. So even though I was having 2 to 3 Pedialytes a day, my lips are still beginning to chap, meaning that I was burning up. So 2 to 3 of these a day helped. And then my mom and my aunt came up with this, I call it the vampire formula, but it's supposed to help your lungs. And this is what it looks like. Okay, it's been in the fridge and it's in a glass jar. And it's onion, garlic, ginger, and lemon. Okay, all raw in a puree. So you open and you scoop it up and you have that twice a day. I couldn't taste and I couldn't smell, so who knows what I smelled like. I had a dear friend send me oregano oil. I just put that in soup, and she's like, it's really potent. I'm like, I can't taste. So I definitely was. Doctors, I think at this point, can't tell you eat healthy or drink this or eat this, but in a Hispanic household, it's all about homeopathic remedies. And to me, I think the fact that I stayed hydrated as much as I did helped. Again, I'm talking about me having COVID the past few weeks, and my personal opinion and what helped me out. I'm not here to try to debate or change anyone's mind or impose my beliefs on you. It's not what I'm trying to do. It's just in case if you know anyone or if you're going through it, how you could help them. Send Pedialyte Plus. 2 to 3 of these a day makes a huge difference. I had another dear friend of mine send me this. This is to check my oxygen levels. So you just turn it on, you put your finger in it, and it tells you where you're at. So it says here 96, so it's good. It's where you want. Like I said, when I went to the emergency room, I was at 89, so it's extremely low. And then I had my thermometer. Every morning and every night, I would just, So those, just to know where you're at. And again, even though it's a low-grade fever, it's still a fever. It's like if you put something to simmer in the crock pot or in the pan, it's going to take a while, but it's still cooking. It's still evaporating. Same thing with a low-grade fever. So if you're not feeling well, of course, I couldn't go to the ER until my breathing took a hit, which was scary. But then I went to Huntington Memorial in Pasadena, and I absolutely loved them. They were so kind and so sympathetic and so caring and thoughtful that to me, it was one of the best experiences. Like, I didn't want to go because I was sick, and you don't want to go to the ER. But if you're going to go, definitely Huntington Memorial in Pasadena has the best bedside manners I have ever experienced in my life. So if anyone has any questions, and if you're wondering about COVID, again, I am not a professional. I am not giving any medical advice. I am not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to change your mind if you don't believe that there is a virus. I'm just letting you know what I got. Oh, and my CVS test did come back positive. So like I said, 2 different tests just to make sure that there's no tampering, if none of that. Both tests came back different times, different facilities, positive. So yeah, so those 2 weeks were scary. And that's why you guys saw me doing like little TikTok videos, because I couldn't talk for a long time. I would air out. But at the same time, I was very lonely. You know, family can't be with you, which you don't want them to. The last thing you want is for them to feel the pain that you're feeling. So TikTok videos for me were definitely, it was nice. It was the one thing I could do that didn't air me out or exhaust me. And I could pause, I could take a break, and then just post them. I know a lot of people, when they're sick, they don't like to do makeup or like feel a certain way, but you have to, you know, it just kind of keeps your spirits up. And then to me, comedy TV, stand-up comedy was such a lifesaver because, you know, if you don't laugh, you cry. So yeah, my crazy hair today. So again, if you know anyone who might be dealing with COVID, like I said, I am not a doctor. I am not giving any medical advice. I am just a girl who experienced it. I know some people don't have it as bad, which is awesome. And I know some people who've had it worse, who are still in the hospital, who have lost their taste buds and their smell for weeks. You know, there's some who it's been a month or 2. I thankfully just started getting mine back this week. It's about 40% of smell and taste since the 10th of June. So about 20 days? No, 10 days? I can't math, but you get it. I'm not working at the moment. So thankfully, you know, again, trying to see the positive, I got to be at home and just rest as much as I could. And like I said, if there's any questions, you don't have to like type it in now, but you know, please share the video if you know anyone who might be going through it or who needs some just, you know, hey, it's gonna be okay, and these are the things that help me. Go for it. Also, you could DM me. Yeah, so that's my video. I hope I didn't rant for too long, but COVID is real. And if it's not, then the whole world got together to play one heck of a joke on the rest of us, but I strongly doubt that. So stay safe, wear a mask, which all my videos at this point show masks. I really want you guys to see that we can make it fun. And this one has a V for Vanessa. My mama got it for me. Thanks, Mom. You know, and you just have to make the most of this situation. If this is a new normal, we have to all buckle down and see the positive. So yeah, it's my video. Please like, please share. Again, this is just a COVID video. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. So stay hydrated, stay safe, wash your hands, and wear a mask. Okay? Bye.